Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with a quick update video here in regards to the newest event here, being the Negative Zone Harbinger. If you guys recall, this is for respectively only Chapter 1 characters, which we know as both Vigilante and Thunderbolts. As you can see on screen here, I just completed it actually yesterday, resetting in a few hours here, right? But overall, guys, I want to talk real quickly here just about the landscape of the game and how it's changing, and as well as what it's going to take now going forward. So if you recall, obviously everything's been revitalized and refreshed in the way of the command center. So we need to be aware of the daily objectives that we're doing. We need to be aware of the weekly objectives, as well as what harbinger opportunities there are going to be with each week that comes, right? So there's going to be the main one that you see on screen here, and there's going to be the weekly ones that you do. But more importantly, it's usually now involving whatever the meta is in terms of the newest teams being released. So not this week, but the previous week, it was all about Vigilantes. Heck, it's still about Vigilantes because you can see there's still aspects of Vigilantes being highlighted here. And then that obviously ties back to the rewards here being, in this case, Hit Monkey. Last week was Silver Sable. And then ultimately, even for the main one here that you see, both Vigilantes and as well as Thunderbolts being required here as part of building towards points ultimately for the unlock here of Quasar. Now, why is this important, guys? What does all this have anything to do with the Negative Zone Harbinger? Well, the reality here is that, and not that we haven't known for quite some time now, is that the newest team is always the best team, right? And what I mean by that is not statistically better than every other team that has released before, but in terms of the events that seem to follow now. So if you recall, and I am going to showcase for you my entire full Vigilante team, I brought these guys to the absolute moon with investment. There's a couple of big things why, but obviously it's very rare that we have this trifecta of reasons to bring up a team, and hence why I was able to maximize and really push the majority of them to max. And really it's going to be Silver Sable, Daredevil Modern, and Hit Monkey coming in with me also as part of the Age of X. But it all started, a few weeks ago when Age of X was released, and we were, taking a look at what the required teams was, right? So we saw that here in the Professor Xavier saga, and we knew that Nimrod, this section was fine. It is what it is here, but you're requiring Gear Tier 19. Where it elevated was when we switched over to the Gladiator section, and that for this one, you needed Gear Tier 19 city characters. So you could have got by with Spire Society, plus minus a couple of characters here and there. But then the next section here is Gear Tier 20 City, and then that's required for both the Heroic and Extreme. So that was kind of like the big, light bulb moment for me, was thinking, okay, well, we have to be mindful now of the future and what we're building. And it just so happens that this new Vigilante team, well, the majority of them are city characters. And guess what? They're also now required every single day for what we're doing actually on the Alliance raid perspective with the Chaotic Storm. Let's see how our alliance is doing. North of 81%. Great, love it. That's what I like to see. But yeah, one of the hardest sections here is actually the skill section, and it's now a walk in the park because of the fact that we actually have. Oh, sorry, what was it? Is it over here? Because now we actually have the Vigilante characters being utilized here. So this section right here, on the left side, it's a little deeper. I think on the right side, it's a little bit earlier, so you have to be mindful of that. So it really depends on kind of where you're situated as well, right? But yeah, the fact that the stars align with Chaotic Storm raids, we have Age of X requirement with these characters. So this Vigilante team is going to be very important already, right? That's why, guys, for those of you wondering, yes, I spent, I think, roughly 20,000 power cores to get the unlock of Silver Sable and Hit Monkey for the majority. Thankfully, Daredevil Modern already had his free-to-play event, so I didn't need to spend too much on him from the power core perspective. But yeah, what you're seeing here, guys, is all free-to-play. I didn't buy any offers, no strike passes, no battle passes, nothing. My channel has always been free-to-play, so it was just kind of a nice, the stars aligning with the trifecta of reasons to bring up this team. And then the actual icing on the cake was, I don't know if you guys recall, but not last week, but the week before, we also had the Fallen Dimension Omega mode. And that Fallen Dimension event was tied back to a leaderboard, which also rewarded, I believe at the time, mutant materials, mutant resources for Gear Tier 20. So that was kind of the big reason, right? Age of X, check. Chaotic Storm raids every single day, check. And then even a limited game mode where you need a Gear Tier 19/20 characters to push through all the way. And this hodgepodge mixture here, this built up Vigilante mixture, was able to get me to the finish line, and that allowed me to excel in that event as well. And then guess what, guys? Icing on the cake, now they bring out this other negative zone Harbinger event that also seems to require at least a built up gear tier 19, at least bare minimum. I mean, I will say though, guys, this team was overbuilt. I autoed some of the nodes that we were doing. What does definitely help for sure is my Silver Sable being fully maxed out at gear tier 20. And obviously we had our event last week, we were maximizing some shards, so having her at 5 stars was definitely a handful for sure as well. And remember, guys, all these characters now are officially farmable as well in the new Intel store. So by spending 12,500 of these Intel credits, which actually, to be honest, isn't even that much, you can get 5 shards, right? So this is definitely the best way to go about it right now to build them up for this event. But yeah, overall, guys, the event was not really anything to write home about. I was debating about making videos to go through the node playthrough, but to be honest, it was quite easy. Only difficulty I had was really the first node. I had to get a couple RNG aspects out of the way, and then there was another node with Old Man Logan where he was doing a lot of attacks at the beginning, but you just had to wait it out. It felt like a Scourge event, basically just going through it, and actually simpler than a Scourge event because you really only needed the 5 characters here for Vigilante to go through it. So there you guys have it. That in a nutshell is kind of where I'm standing right now, guys. The Vigilante team has definitely provided a lot of dividends already with this investment from weeks back. Fallen Dimension Omega, and like I said, 3 out of the 5 members. I have Silver Sable ready to go here for Age of X, Hitmonkey ready to go here for Age of X. I'm now waiting on Daredevil Modern. And then as well, I need 2 Mystic characters or maybe some other character that's not Mystic in that trait classification that we're going in. But I'm debating about Blade and Oath right now too as that tandem, right? So that's kind of the game plan right now, guys. So I should be able to start Age of X pretty soon here for the gear tier 20 side. But yeah, let me know what you guys think though. This is kind of the new reality of things, right? And it kind of segues now into the next point of contention, which is the fact that we haven't seen this yet, right? Obviously with it being quite early, but Thunderbolts is the next newest team, and obviously we had Victorian Hand getting released last week. We got Songbird coming out today, and then obviously Taskmaster and Ghost also being part of the mixture, and then we know Hyperion is also going to be next week or the following week. Are there going to be more events like this, guys? Is there going to be another Fallen Dimension Omega S.2 where we're going to have to utilize just Thunderbolts? Is there going to be another Negative Zone Harbinger that, I guess in this case you could have used Thunderbolts, but it seemed like it was more favoring towards Vigilante, guys. So that's the reality of things right now, guys. They're trying to reward players that get access to these teams more, and as a result of that, they're also releasing more events. And like I said, even if you look at the command center, I haven't been able to touch any of this other stuff yet with the Thunderbolt characters because of the fact that I don't have them unlocked yet. So yeah, it's kind of the new reality, guys. The newest team is going to give you the most value. They may not be the best team, but you may have to bring them all the way up to the max to access some of the content in the game, and that's kind of where I'm situated at. That's why also right now I'm waiting on my Thunderbolt investment because I don't know if I'm actually bringing them into Age of X. And like I said, there was a trifecta of reasons for Vigilante, hence why I did that and pulled the trigger. But it's a little bit of a different feel right now with Thunderbolts because I'm not requiring them actually for my raids. I'm still getting through bio with my Hive Mind. There's the alternate strategies, right? And that's kind of why I'm holding back right now. And that's also why I haven't cored for any of the characters yet either. But yeah, let me know what you guys think though. What are your thoughts on this situation right now going forward? I know it's definitely not ideal because obviously that means you have to basically have a boatload of resources to invest in the newest team, and that's assuming they have content out for the newest team, but that seems to be the new reality of things. We'll see. Only time is going to tell, but in the meantime, yeah, as long as you're having fun, as long as you're enjoying the moment, that's what matters at the end of the day, guys. So I'm having a blast right now, but I'm just glad this investment made a few weeks back is actually still paying dividends, and it seems like that's the reality of things right now. Those between the haves and the have-nots, and then as well as resource management if you don't have that, right? So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.